Hi, it's Mimi at Giggly Guppy. Today, we're going to be reading this book. It's called President Taft is Stuck in the Bath. And here's the title page. President Taft is Stuck in the Bath by Barnett, illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. William Howard Taft was the 27th President of the United States. He busted monopolies, instituted the federal income tax, and became the only president to also serve as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. But today, President Taft is stuck in his bathtub. Blast, said Taft. This could be bad. He squeezed and he shimmied. He hefted and stretched. He gripped the rim of the tub and attempted to lift himself, but it was no use. President Taft was stuck in the bath. Taft took a deep breath and tugged his mustache. Think, Taft, said Taft. Use that big noggin and cook up a plan. 2 hours passed. The water got cold, and President Taft was still stuck in the bath. I hope, said Taft, that nobody notices I am missing. Someone knocked at the door. Double blast, said Taft. Blast and drat. Willie? Oh dear, it was Taft's wife, the First Lady of the United States of America. You've been in there a while. Is everything fine? Taft splashed in the bath. Yes, Nellie, he said. I'm just scrubbing my back. I see, Nellie said. Are you really quite sure? Oh, blast, shouted Taft. Why can't a man have a nice quiet bath? Nellie said, Sorry, Willie. She sniffed. Taft felt bad. My love, said Taft, I am stuck in the bath. So you are, said Nellie, she thought. Well, perhaps. It's a disaster, said Taft. Yes, but perhaps. Blast, perhaps, shouted Taft. We need action, a plan. Please be a sweetie and call the vice president. Even the dog looks concerned. The vice president came and stood by the tub. Well, Jim, said Taft, I'm stuck in the bath. I see, said the VP. Well, you've called the right man. I'm ready to be sworn in as the President of the United States of America. Blast that, bellowed Taft. A preposterous plan. Perhaps, said the First Lady. Call the Secretary of State, shouted President Taft. Mr. Secretary, said Taft, I'm stuck in the bath. Indeed, said the Secretary of State. Let me put this diplomatically. A man of great stature need not be of great girth, and so, blast man, shouted Taft, are you calling me fat? No, sir, the Secretary of State was taken aback, but certainly a diet combined with calisthenics. Blast diet, said Taft. I need something fast. Should we swear me in as president now? Asked the vice president. Call the Secretary of Agriculture, shouted President Taft. Mr. Secretary, said Taft, I'm stuck in the bath. Said the secretary. A huge vat of butter should do the trick. We'll have 50 farmers milk 50 cows. If Congress spends the night churning, we should have enough. We'll grease up your sides and the sides of the tub, then it will be easy. You'll slide right out. Blast butter, said Taft. As soon as I'm out, I'll just need a bath. Perhaps, said the First Lady. Call the Secretary of War, shouted President Taft. So the way this is written on a couple of pages now, the First Lady has said perhaps, and then she's kind of cut off by President Taft. So I think maybe the First Lady has an idea. Mr. Secretary, said Taft, I'm stuck in the bath. Yes, said the Secretary. We'll soon see to that. With what? Taft asked. Dynamite. Taft was aghast. We'll just need a few sticks of TNT and a rather long fuse, and boom, you'll be free. We'll blast this old tub into smithereens. Blasting, said Taft. It's dangerous, man. That's dangerous, man. You'll be wearing a helmet, said the Secretary of War. No, shouted Taft. Do you think President James Schoolcraft Sherman sounds catchy, said the Vice President. No, shouted Taft. Perhaps, said the First Lady. Here we see it again. Perhaps, said the First Lady, call the Secretary of the Navy, Treasury, and Interior, shouted President Taft. Call the Secretaries of the Navy, Treasury, and Interior. So every time the First Lady, Mrs. Taft, starts to speak, President Taft has another idea to call in more people. Oh my goodness. It's quite a situation. Send deep divers into the tub, said the Secretary of the Navy. Throw money at the problem, said the Secretary of the Treasury. The answer is inside you, said the Secretary of the Interior. Blast that, and that, shouted President Taft. It is clear I am unfit for office. A president cannot govern while stuck in a bath. Am I to be carried around this great nation in a tub, borne aloft on the backs of 6 young men like a princeling from antiquity? No, bellowed Taft. It is un-American. Taft waved his right hand. Fetch the Chief Justice. I will resign. Let's swear Sherman in. Wait, said the First Lady. Wait, said the First Lady. She has an idea. Let's not be rash. There are 8 of us here. Perhaps if we stopped using our brains and just used our arms, we could pull Willie out from the bath. It was a pretty good plan. And so those 8 great minds rolled up their sleeves and they yanked and they tugged. At first Taft wouldn't budge, but then came a squeak and a slap and a snap, and just like that, President Taft flew from the bath. Right out the window. Looks like he even did a little loop-de-loop there. Oh my goodness. There were many glad cries. Taft kissed his wife. A celebration ensued, and someone called in a band. There was dancing and snacks. The Secretary of State raised his glass. A toast, he said, to President Taft. Worry not, great man. 100 years hence, no one will recall that you were stuck in the bath. Our grandchildren's grandchildren will read of your many great feats. The crowd broke into applause. Speech, speech, they all said. The band stopped. Taft cleared his throat. Those gathered were rapt. They were paying close attention. Even the dog's ear was perked to hear what President Taft was going to say. Would somebody hand me a robe, he asked. And that's that. Author's note. There's a picture here, an actual photograph of 4 grown men in a tub, and it says, Taft's White House tub, custom built for the president by the J.L. Mott Iron Works of Trenton, New Jersey. 4 men sit in the tub, and there looks to be room for at least 2 more. I'm going to read what this says. Some people say President Taft got stuck in his bath on March 4th, 1909, his inauguration day. Others say it happened later in his term. Depending on who's talking, it took 2 men to pry out the president, or 4 men, or 4 men plus a gallon of loblolly, which is butter mixed with lobster liver. Of course, many say Taft never got stuck at all. What follows is what we know for certain. And on this last page, it has some facts pertaining to President Taft and bathtubs. On August 8th, 1910, President William Taft denied ever commissioning a special Taft-sized tub. We have no special bathtubs made for any executive of any particular size. He was lying. When Taft took office, he had the White House bathtub removed and replaced with a tub that was 7 feet long and 3.5 feet wide, which for size and white porcelain beauty probably has no rival in the United States, according to the El Paso Herald, which is a newspaper. See how it's italicized? In 1909, according to the Minnesota newspaper, the Warren Sheaf, Taft had a tub with pond-like dimensions installed for himself on a battleship, the USS North Carolina. In 1910, Taft had a giant tub put on his private yacht, the Mayflower, and later moved it onto another battleship, the USS Arkansas. Was this tub the same one from the North Carolina or a second custom tub? Excuse me, that was a double sneeze. This is one of history's great bathtub-related mysteries. At least one more huge tub, 8 feet by 4 feet, was commissioned in 1913 for the president's suite at the Hotel Taft, where he moved after leaving office. On June 19, 1915, 2 years after Taft lost his re-election bid to Woodrow Wilson, the New York Tribune ran a front-page story headlined, Taft's Displacement Floods Bathtub in Hotel Cape May. According to the article, when the former president entered the bath, the water overflowed and trickled down upon the heads of the guests in the dining room. According to the paper, as Taft boarded his train the next day, he glanced at the ocean and said, "I'll get a piece of that fenced in someday, and then I venture to say there won't be any overflow." But no newspapers, letters, or diaries confirm that Taft ever lodged himself in the White House tub. So, did President Taft actually get stuck in the bath? Maybe, maybe not. But more than a century later, this is the story we're still telling, and to people like me, that's all that matters. This is for Yaakov, Taft Scholar, MB, for Stephen Malk and his nephews, CV. It's the dedication page. I like this quote on the back. The back cover of the book, it says, "We are all imperfect, William Howard Taft," which is true. We are all imperfect. That's the way it's supposed to be. Nobody, nothing is supposed to be perfect. What a fun book. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time when I read another book to make you smile.